Trump in the Oval Office talking about Saudi Arabia. Let's listen in.
I just want to find out what's happening. In fact, Secretary of State Pompeo is going to be back probably late tonight or early tomorrow morning. He went to Turkey. He went all over. But he spent a lot of time with the Crown Prince, and he's going to have a full report. I'm not giving cover at all. With that being said, Saudi Arabia has been a very important ally of ours in the Middle East. We are stopping Iran. We're not trying to stop. We're stopping Iran. We went a big step when we took away that ridiculous deal that was made by the previous administration, the Iran deal, which was $150 billion and $1.8 billion in cash. What was that all about? And they are an ally. We have other very good allies in the Middle East, but if you look at Saudi Arabia, they're an ally, and they're a tremendous purchaser of not only military equipment, but other things. When I went there, they committed to purchase $450 billion worth of things and $110 billion worth of military. Those are the biggest orders in the history of this country, probably the history of the world. I don't think there's ever been any order for $450 billion. And you remember that day in Saudi Arabia where that commitment was made. So they're an important ally, but I want to find out what happened, where is the fault, and we will probably know that by the end of the week. But Mike Pompeo is coming back. We're going to have a long talk.
We're talking about a man who lived across the river in Virginia. Why not send the FBI in to figure all this out?
Well, he wasn't a citizen of this country, for one thing, and we're going to determine that. And you don't know whether or not we have, do you?
Well,
No, but do you know whether or not we've sent the FBI?
You sent the FBI.
I'm not going to tell you.
Mr. President,
Why would I tell you?
have you asked for this audio, video, intelligence that the Turks supposed
We have
to
asked for it if it exists. We have asked for it. Yeah.
But you haven't got
We've asked for it if it exists.
Are you surprised that they haven't turned it over?
No, I'm not sure yet that it exists. Probably does, possibly does. I'll have a full report on that from Mike when he comes back.
Mr. President.
That's one of the things that's going to be the first question I ask.
Mr. President, there's been some talk after the midterms about spending being reined in up on the Hill. I'm curious, is there any programs that you'd like to see kind of
Well, I will tell you that I'm having a cabinet meeting in a little while, and we're going to ask every secretary to cut 5% for next year. And last year, first year, I had to do something with the military. The military was falling apart. It was depleted. It was in very bad shape. And that's why we went for 2 years, $700 billion, $716 billion. And that took place over a period of 2 years. We have repurchased and purchased jets, missiles, rockets, all forms of military equipment, ships, submarines. We've rebuilt and are in the process of rebuilding our military to a level that has never been before. I had to do that in order to get the 700 and the 716 billion dollars. Those numbers have never been heard of before. I had to give the Democrats, I call it waste money, things that I would never have approved, but we had to do that in order to get the votes because we don't have enough Republican votes to do this without them. So when you look at the border, how bad it is, that's because the Democrats want it to be bad because they don't give us the votes. That's why I hope we do very well in the midterm. But we're going to be asking for a 5% cut from every secretary today. Okay, we're going to see you at the cabinet meeting because you're coming in for a couple of minutes so we can discuss it at length. And I just want to talk to these great folks and wish them best wishes. They've done a fantastic job, and we really appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Great job. Thank you very much. We'll see you in a couple of minutes.